I think we'll be okay. This is at an angle, which doesn't look good. But hello, good morning. We are live. This is Pete Cohen. Welcome to the 5th day of how to lose at everything. How to be a failure at everything. Now, some people might think that's a little bit of a negative week, a little bit of a negative subject to talk about. Why would we want to talk about that? Oops, let me share this. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. It's a couple of minutes to 7. Got a load of people coming in on Instagram this morning. I wonder why that is. And now Facebook is doing something a little bit strange. Yes, that worked. Good morning, all the Instagrammers. Instagrammers, where are you from? Let's also share this in one other place, and then we will get this shown on the road. Share in a group. We will share this on the My365 private group that anyone can join. It's absolutely free. Just search for My365 Pete Cohen private group. Ask to join, get involved, and let's help you be the most amazing person in the world. Jules from Plymouth lives in Spain. Thank you for joining us this morning. We've got Cliff in Cambridge. Where else? Let's have a look on Facebook at the moment, and we'll see where everyone's from. Where is everyone from? Where is everyone watching this from this morning? I can see there's a whole load of you coming in. Feel free to share this. We're going to do a summary on the whole week of how to fail at everything. And, this is such crucial information. I actually believe that everyone in the world should be listening to what I'm about to say. Norfolk is in the house. Ipswich is in the house. Leicester is in the house. Sutton Coldfield, Edinburgh, London, Essex. Where else? We've got Shropshire. We've got South London. We've got Swansea is in the house. We've got Brighton just down the road. We've got Newton Abbot in the house. We've got a whole load of people in the house. We've got space. We've got Mark, who is in space. We've got Medway, which I think is in Essex, I believe. We've got another person from Essex, Bury St Edmunds, Watford, Somerset, the Isle of Skye in Scotland. We've got sunny London. We've got Shoreham Beach. Wow, that's a beautiful place. I used to live down there. We've got Worthing in the house next to Shoreham. So good morning, everyone. This is day 5. We've actually done 4 days of broadcast this week because I didn't broadcast on Wednesday because I was flying across the ocean. But what was amazing was that was a monumentous day in the history of My365 because I put a request out there. Alicante's in the house. Medway is it's in Kent, excuse me. Perth is in the house. I take it Perth, Scotland. Linda is in the house. So what happened at 7 o'clock for many people on Wednesday, and some people didn't do it live, they just did it when the time was right for them, was live, make a video and say why they are a winner. And this is so important because most people, we talk about the starting point. So how many times in your life have you wanted to achieve something, anything? How many times you thought, okay, I want to clean my house. I want to write a book. I want to go on holiday. I want this. And we think about what is the starting point of all achievement. Now, the starting point of all achievement of put achievement to one side, but the starting point of things that we want, in many cases, revolve around instantaneous gratification, wanting to feel really good now. So the starting point of all achievement for most people is, I want to feel good right now. So in order to wanting to feel right good now, I want to feel right good at the end of the day or this weekend. So many of us then partake in certain things which make us feel good that have a negative impact on our bodies if we do them on an extended period of time. Most people are aware of that. But what's really interesting is when we look at the starting point of all achievement for things that we want to achieve. Got some big pen, if you think about, you want to achieve something and you might be here. This is a starting point. And you want to achieve something over here. You think, okay, this is where I am. This is where I want to be. The starting point Many people talk about the facts. Okay, the fact is this: most people are driven away from things. I'm not comfortable. I don't like it anymore. I'm too much in debt. I'm too much uncomfortable. I'm in too much pain. I can't breathe properly. What triggers people into action in most cases is pain. And that's okay, because for a lot of people, if they're triggered by pain, they will take action until they get comfortable, right? Once they get comfortable, they tend to go back to what they were doing before. It's a fascinating thing. Most of us really are pretty poor at thinking ahead and picturing and using. We're going to start looking at this in more detail. You've got this workshop inside you. It's called your imagination. And to imagine and to see clearly where it is that you want to go is something that very, very, very few people do. Does this make sense? Do you agree with this? So even when people use their imagination and think, okay, this is what I want to achieve. I want to be slimmer, fitter, healthier, happier. I want to be more confident, whatever it is. The real starting point of the achievement is how people feel about where they are. They might have a bit of inspiration, have a great idea, and even start taking action. But what I'm really interested in, and this I think is what has come to the fore for so many people, is feeling like a failure even before you've started. Such an important point. Feeling like, and if you're in the business, anyone's watching this, and you're in the business of helping and inspiring other people, maybe you need to realize that a lot of the people that you're working with, they lack confidence. And what is confidence? Confidence is trust in yourself, believing that you can achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. And this is when it's about really being honest. And a lot of people, this is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I have been contacted this week by a few people that have said they found this week really moving, because I think they're starting to wake up to realize that deep down inside, they feel like a loser. They feel not quite good enough. And let's face it, we live in a world where that's why most people buy things. Most people. But how many of you don't want to be in that club? You don't want to be in the club of being like everyone else. You want to be in the club of being the very best version of you. Isn't that the place that you want to be? Where you can confidently look in the mirror and be happy with who you are. Now, of course, things have happened to all of us that have tainted us, that have, I wouldn't say have made us, but conditioned us. Maybe other people wanted to condition us to think and act in certain ways. But I actually believe that now most of us are conditioning ourselves into being and in feeling the way that we feel. So it's like saying to someone, hey, do you, yes, you, do you feel like you can achieve what you want to achieve? And it's not like we should all be feeling positive every moment of every day, because I don't think that that's real. But just like Einstein said, look, reality doesn't exist in the outside world. Reality exists in here. And we create that reality through thought. How we think and how we think about ourselves affects everything. And I really want to take my hat off, if I was wearing a hat, to you and say, thank you for coming on this journey with me. And thank you for opening up and realizing that no matter how you feel about where you are right now, you can change it. And I want to just point out something else which came out of this week, because obviously what I'm looking for now is for everyone to, again, come to the fore. It doesn't matter what's going on. I want to know what you've achieved. I mean, as your coach, how many of you look at me as your coach? Yes or no? If you look at me as your coach, then just do as your coach asks you to do, which is, what have you learned this week? What have you learned? What have you achieved? And what are you going to do with it? You know, and this is if you want to grow. If you don't want to grow and you want to stay where you are, then just don't do this. If you don't want to put it out there in a video, it's fine. It's up to you. At least write it down. If you don't want to share it with other people, maybe share it with people that you know. But then we look at this, goals. Now, everyone thinks that we should set goals. Yeah, we should definitely set them. But if that's the only thing you do and you set a goal and say, here I am, this is my goal, then we realize there's a huge gap. And again, most people feel like they're failing because they haven't got what they want. And that's what's happening all over the world. I don't have what I want. I don't have what I want, so I'm not good enough. And then when I get what I think I wanted, often people still aren't happy, but maybe we'll look at that another day. What we have to look at is helping you win. Win, 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 win. Okay, if I'm being honest with you, today, I really didn't feel like getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I really didn't. My body aches. I flew back from New York. I'm tired. You know, I could moan. I can complain about it. I feel pretty exhausted, to be honest. But that still doesn't stop me from doing what I need to do. For the ritual, it's not goals that people need. Well, they need goals, but they must have rituals. Because every time you do a ritual, every single time, you can have the feeling of success. If you want to have that feeling. Yeah, a little feeling of success. I'm winning. We all want to win, don't we? Who wants to lose? Everyone wants to win. Winning to me, I don't know what it means to you, but it's just a feeling like, yes, look what I did. Look what I did. So this morning, I did my meditation. I fell asleep and nearly cracked my head open, but I didn't. I did my yoga. I heard the voice in my head saying, no, just stop, just sit, do nothing. See, if you want something enough, there has to be a sacrifice. And this is the last point I wanted to make to all of you before we do it. And I appreciate all of you coming on this journey with me, especially this week, because to face up to the reality of, you know what, I don't feel the way I want to feel. And some people, it's like a little dose of arsenic that they're taking every single day. Not enough to kill anybody, but over time to kill the spirit of you and the spirit of your ability to go, I'm going to do this. So what have we looked at this week? Well, the whole idea of this week was to help you realize why you don't get what you want. And hopefully you realize that a bit more than you did before, why you don't get what you want, because of how you feel about yourself when you decide to start taking action. Why we go around in circles, why we conform. We just conform to the normal. I don't like the normal. I want to create a new normal. How many of you want to create a new normal? I'm sorry, I can see the image today is really, really quite poor. Let me see if this makes any difference. You never know. But anyway, hopefully you can all hear what I'm saying. And then we were kind of looking at this whole thing about goals versus having strategies, having rituals. And if you don't have those and you don't stick to those rituals, again, you'll feel like you were a failure if you don't do even just one of them. But I'm sorry, you'll probably feel like a failure if you don't do any of them. But if you just do one of them, then you can have the sense of, I'm still moving in the right direction. What else did we look at this week? A default setting. We looked at what we just tend to go back to. Human beings have this incredible capacity to go back to what is normal to them, to go back to what they have practiced. And I really challenge you to start thinking bigger and also starting to think, what is it going to take? So as we draw this week to a close, and I'm excited to tell you about what we're going to do next week, there was a very famous university college basketball coach called John Wooden, hugely successful, I think the most successful coach in university history in the States, having won more championships than anybody else. What a lot of people don't realize is the years that went on before where he didn't win, but where he was learning. So it's so important in life to start looking at when things don't work out the way that we want to, that we just, okay, I need to learn from this, not be a loser, I need to learn. And you change the Change the word. Still begins with the letter L, but just change it. Constantly a learning machine, bettering yourself. But for him, it was all about process, 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 process. And the most important part of the process was people putting their socks on right, putting their socks on right. So, the heel of the sock went in the right place, and the sock was on right. And he said, as long as we were doing that, we knew that we were going to be moving in the right direction. Now, that might seem really strange to all of you, but what about you? What is the number one negotiable that you have to keep doing, that keeps setting you up, that keeps moving you in the right direction? I think some of you probably don't realize just how far you've come because it's small little incremental things, but some of you, maybe you do realize how far you've come. And if you're watching this on the replay, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time out, 15 minutes of your day, of your life, to go to work on yourself. We go to work on other people's businesses. We go to work for other people. We go to work on our car. We go to work on our houses. Very, 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 very rarely do we go to work on ourselves. So next week, we are going to do something amazing. We're going to work on design human engineering. What does that mean? Well, many of you could look at yourself as, and this was really spurred on by an amazing lady, Janet, who might be watching this live, or if not, she'll be watching it later on. Janet was someone who used to come to a lot of events I did, and she was quite shy and watching in the background. She lacked confidence. She was overweight. And at one point, I think nearing her 50th birthday, she just decided enough was enough. And it's completely changed her life around. And we worked together on something called Janet 2.0, which is creating a better version of yourself. So Abigail Newman, you could say Abigail Newman 1.0. In fact, now 2.0, because of how you've, maybe now it's Abigail 3.0. If something, whatever it is, you can decide. Is it 2.0, 3.0, 4.0? Going to work on creating a better version of yourself. Like a Terminator, like a cyborg, something that's a machine. And you're going to decide what bits of the machine that you want to, that this current machine is using, that you want to leave behind, and what parts do you want to put into this new machine and create something absolutely incredible. This is going to be another game-changing week for so many of you as we move you into a different way of being, a better way of being, where you actually decide. So it's time for me to make a little summary. Thank you so much for all of you that have watched this on Instagram. Say goodbye to everyone on Instagram. Much love. So it's really up to you. And thank you, Janet, for inspiring this. Look what you're going to be doing now in terms of the idea that you came up with is going to be spurring on a lot of people all over the world. We have 5 days left, my friends, 5 days left for you to get the early bird ticket for the My365 Summit, the 23rd of September. It's going to be an unbelievable day. It's going to be a day not only where loads of My365ers come together to celebrate their success, their journey, but also they're going to have myself, Dr. Rakowski, one of the finest human beings on the face of the earth, one of the top people in the world of nutrition. Also, Patty Drobanowski is going to be there, who specializes in showing people exactly how to create the vision of where they're going. And I know many of you are coming, but you know what some of you might want to do is actually get someone else a ticket and bring someone, get someone to come with you to let them have the opportunity to be a part of the most positive and vibrant community on the face of this earth. Hope all is well. Take care. Much love. Oh, I'm done my summary yet. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Guys, it is day 5 on the week of how to fail at everything. I really should have called it how to fail at everything and still win, because most failures bring people closer to where it is that they want to go. But the thing we have to really, really be aware of is how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about what we do before we even start. They say the starting point of all achievement is a burning desire. I believe the starting point of all achievement is how do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about whether you feel like a winner or whether you feel like you're going to lose. Most people feel like they're a loser. Most people feel they're not quite good enough. Why? Years of practice, years of not feeling quite right. But we can change that. What does it take? It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes a decision. And that's what I believe many of you have started to make. Join me next week as we're going to do some design, human engineering. Have a great weekend. Thank you for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. And just like I'm wearing Captain America here, we're all superheroes deep down inside, but we have to go to work on creating that. Have a great day. See you soon. Thanks for watching. If you haven't bought your ticket for the summit, get one and consider getting one for a friend because, like I said, massive hashtag game changer. I just made that up. Goodbye.